Hello, lovelies. My name is Lacey. This is Beautiful Mess Yoga, and today we are going to do a yoga asana for fitness. For those of you who know me from Crunch Fitness Yukon, this is very similar to their yoga body sculpt, but I am not legally allowed to do that exact format, but I am the one who put those sequences of moves together, so we will be doing those moves that I designed, or that sequence that I designed. This will be familiar to you, but we won't have a balance section. For those of you who have not done an asana video with me, I like to remind everybody that yoga is such a personal practice, so really make it your own. It looks very different on me than it might look on you. I am 5'2". I have short squatty legs, so the different poses really just look different on everyone. A lot of what you see today in social media when it comes to yoga asana is really all about aesthetics and how it looks. So when we work with asana for fitness, it's important to remember that we're working with functional body movements. So if something does not work for you, don't force it. This is kind of an advanced yoga class, or an advanced fitness class, as in it's really geared more towards people who have been working out for a while. However, if you're a beginner, you can feel free to do it. Just move at your own pace and really listen to your body and respect it. So when you're feeling any pain, don't, come out of the move. Don't try to stay there thinking that you need to be able to do it, because that's just not true. Do what you can, and then after the video, if you want to email me and ask me about certain postures, where my feet weren't like this and you said this, is that okay? Or I have a lot of people ask me after classes, I have a foot injury, can you tell me what I can do, when you're in this pose, what I can do as an alternate pose, because I can't really do that. And I'm always happy to help in that sense. So please feel free to reach out to me. But also just remember, make it your own. You are in your body. You're the only one in your body. Even though some of us might have similar bodies, we cannot actually say what is going to be best for you. So that's part of what a yoga practice is getting comfortable in your own skin, in your own body, and learning to feel and be aware of how you move, how you breathe, and then further away from fitness, how you think and things like that. So, but for today, fitness, so let's go. My dog wants to play with me right now, of course, so Ollie, go lay down. Go lay down. Good boy. All right, so find yourself in a comfortably seated position. You can be in Thunderbolt up on your knees, or you can be in easy pose, or in half lotus, or in lotus. You can even take staff and extend your legs out straight. Just something comfortable for you where you can sit with an erect spine. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. And just start to slow your breath as you come into the present moment. On your inhales, notice feelings and sensations in your body. And as you exhale, release everything that has happened up until this very point today. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable to you. You can hold a mudra in your hands if that feels comfortable to you. And just start a pattern of deep breath. Maybe count to 4, 5, or 6 on each inhale and exhale. Notice the coolness of the air as it moves into your nose. And as you exhale, notice its warmth. Feel your belly expand as you inhale, as your diaphragm pushes down, making room for the lungs to fill with air. This is known as the belly breath, and it's our natural way of breathing. Notice it is not natural for your shoulders to move up while you're breathing, so try to relax your chest and shoulders and just breathe naturally. You'll feel a little bit of movement there, and that's okay, but no big raising of the shoulders should be present. So place your hand on your belly and feel that expansion as you inhale and that compression as you exhale. And then on your next inhale, hold your core tight as if someone is about to punch you in the stomach, and repeat the deep breath, inhaling, noticing this time how your rib cage expands in all directions as your core is tight, not really allowing for that belly to expand. This is breathing through the ribs, and that is how we will breathe throughout the practice. So let's relax the core and move the spine in all 6 directions. We'll start with just the neck. Bring your chin down to your chest. Maybe apply slight pressure on the back of your head, just slightly, to get that extra stretch. And then opposite direction, look up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Maybe press your tongue up against the roof of your mouth if that feels good for that extra stretch here in the throat. And bring it back to center. Now we're going to look over our shoulder, keeping the back nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears, as if you're trying to touch your chin to your shoulder. Through center, we'll go to the other side. These micro movements are just kind of loosening us up. Notice any tightness that you have. Try not to judge, but just notice. And back through center. Now we're going to take our ear to our shoulder. Same thing, just a micro movement, allowing that tightness to come into your awareness, and then as you exhale, just allow it to go. Up through center and exhale to the other side. We hold tightness in different parts of our body for different reasons. And we don't need that right now. We're just going to be working on fitness. Just allow your mind to let go. Tell your body to relax. Roll the shoulders to the front and then opposite direction. Maybe take a few neck circles. Pause wherever you need to. If something felt extra tight and you feel like it just needs a few more seconds, feel free. Wherever that was for you, just get it out here. And then we'll start on the spine. I'm going to come up into thunderbolts. That's just more comfortable for me. Feel free to stay in whatever position that you prefer. We're going to inhale our arms straight up and then lean forward on the exhale. Allow the back to round. Can't really see me. Allow the back to round and drop that chin to the chest again. Taking 1 or 2 breaths in each position, rounding up through the back. When you get to the top, continue that motion. Arch your lower back, open the chest, bring your arms out to each side. Try to touch the shoulder blades together. And then relax the arms back down. Again, inhale, arms come up. Let's lean over to the side. One hand comes down onto the floor. And just really reach, stretching that whole side body. And then inhale back up. And exhale to the other side. And when you're ready, coming up, we're going to twist from side to side now. Try to keep your hip bones facing forward and really just rotate the rib cage. One hand in front of you and one hand behind you. You can have these on your knees or on the floor. And then go ahead and take that chin over that shoulder again. And through center to the other side. Hips staying stable. Really taking our time with this, coming back to center whenever you are ready. We're going to push up into a low squat, so however you need to get there. Nice and loose. So you can have your hands at heart center. You can walk your feet out a little and do garland pose, pressing the knees apart with your elbows. Nice inner thigh stretch here. Option to take a toe balance here, bringing the bottom of the feet together and those knees going straight out to each side, coming up, balancing just on the toes. Again, a nice stretch to the inner thighs, also stretching out the calves. And when you're ready, coming down and lifting the hips up into forward fold. And take a moment here in the fold. Allow your hamstrings to stretch. If you need to have bent knees, see I have a slight bend in my knee. If you need to bend your knees more, bring your belly to your thighs and really sink into that. Eventually, if you do this and you have a consistent practice, you'll be able to have your belly to your thighs while your legs are straight with no bend in the knee. But that's not everyone's goal, so whatever feels good for you right now, whatever helps you feel that stretch in the hamstrings. The bent knees can be better for lower back issues also. So we're going to round up through the back. Head is the last thing up. Roll those shoulders out up at the top. Take a few hip circles. We're really going to be using the hips, the glutes, the quads. And when you are ready, we will get started. We're going to do a few sun salutations to begin with. So getting our body nice and warmed up. Let's inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale down into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, coming up with a straight, flat back. And then relax on the exhale, hands down. Step back with the right foot and hold for low lunge. Allow your hips to sink. And then drop that back knee to the mat and hinge up into crescent. Holding here, drop that elbow to the knee and lean into that side. Bring the hands back down. Step back with the left foot, hold in a plank position. So your core is in tight. We don't want our butt up, that's high plank. We want to be in a full regular plank. Fingertips are wide, wrists are directly under the shoulders. Then we're going to lift our hips, even with our shoulders for high plank, and scoop our chest down and up into up dog or cobra. So in cobra, your thighs are on the mat. You can have your elbows bent if you need to, if that helps your lower back. In up dog, just the tops of your feet are on the mat, and your thighs and your knees are up off. So curl the toes back under, lift the hips, find your down dog. Take a moment here and find your form. You can have your heels up off the mat. Your knees can be bent, but we want a straight back. So our tailbone is pointed towards the ceiling. Allow your head to fall between your biceps. If you need to, pedal it out if you're still feeling a little tightness in your legs. That can help. And then step forward with the right foot. Again, holding for a low lunge, allowing those hips to sink. And then drop that back knee and hinge up into crescent. Drop the elbow to the knee and lean to the right. If you're on your left side, don't worry as long as you do both sides. Bring those hands back down. Step up with the left. Hold in forward fold and then round up through the back. Roll the shoulders out at the top, and we'll do that again. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, down into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back, and exhale, relax. Hands to the mat, step back, right foot, hold in low lunge. Drop the knee, hinge up for crescent, and this time, just open the rib cage up towards the ceiling slightly. Bring the hands behind you and clasp them together and open the shoulders. Hands back down to the mat. Step back with the left foot. Hold in a plank. Core is in tight. Wrists under the elbows. Elbows under the shoulders. Lift the hips even with the shoulders for high plank, and then scoop the chest down and up. Hold in up dog or cobra. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, and find your down dog. Pedal it out if you need to, and then step forward with that right foot when you're ready, holding low lunge. Drop that knee, hinge up. Open the chest, rib cage tilts towards the ceiling. Hands come behind you, clasp them together. Open the chest. Hands back down, step up with the left foot. Hold in forward fold. Maybe bounce a few times if that feels good. Notice if you're getting a little looser. And then roll up into mountain. Now we're going to do our first little bit of movement. It's a flow. Find a drink of water. Make sure you're breathing through this. And we will go. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, down into forward fold. Step back with the right foot into low lunge. And then lower that back heel, rotating it inwards towards your midline, and hinge up into warrior one. Now, holding in warrior one, your feet can be staggered to where your left foot is forward, your back foot is in the back, and they're hip width apart. Or, many yoga teachers teach to line up your heels, your front heel and your back heel being directly in the same line. If that does not work for you, have them staggered. It's okay. So holding in warrior one, lower that left arm and lean to the left. Bring it back up, straighten that front leg and hinge forward into pyramid with a flat back, hands behind your back. You can modify this as you need, just not putting any pressure on your knees. So if you need to have your hands on your thighs, that's fine. We're gonna bend that knee back, pushing the energy out in front of us, scooping it up into reverse warrior. Reverse warrior, your right hand behind your right knee, left hand up, and you're looking at it, holding the core in tight. Bring your right hand up as you rotate back into warrior one. Drop the left arm, reach to the left, up, straighten the leg, hinge into pyramid, straight back. Nice and easy breathing. Bend the knee, push the air out in front of you, scoop it up into reverse. And then right hand comes up into warrior one. Drop that left hand, reach to the left. Bring it back up, hinge into pyramid, straightening that front leg, flat back. Push the air out as you bend that front knee, scoop it up into reverse warrior. Bring that right arm up, rotate back into warrior one. This time we're gonna hinge forward, leaning down all the way into low lunge, step back into plank, step forward with the right foot, lower that back heel in towards your midline, and hinge up into warrior one, other side. Adjust your feet as needed. Lower that right arm, lean right. Bring it back up. Ooh. Hinge forward into pyramid with a flat back. We all have that one side that's a little tighter. We're in pyramid, so our torso is facing the ground completely. We're not opening up to either side. Bend the knee, push out that energy, take back what you want, finding reverse warrior. The left arm comes up as we rotate back into warrior one. Drop the right hand, lean right. Bring it back up, straighten the leg, hinge into pyramid, flat back. Bend the knee, push that energy, take back what you need, reverse. And the left arm up, warrior one. Lower the right arm, lean right. Bring it back up, hinge forward into pyramid. Pushing the air, bend that knee, scoop up into reverse warrior. Bring that left arm up for warrior one. Hinge forward all the way down through low lunge, step back into plank. Lower the knees, uncurl the toes, lower the hips. Take a nice cobra pose. Push up through tabletop, all the way back, hips falling onto the feet. Take a nice child's pose, stretch. Curl the toes under, push up into your down dog. Pedal it out here if you need to. And then step forward, one foot at a time, holding a forward fold. Bring your two big toes together where they're touching, leaving a little space between your heels. And then drop the hips by bending the knees, hinge up into chair. Tucking the tailbone slightly for a flat back here. And then exhale up into mountain. So we're gonna start the dynamic portion of this workout. If you have a block that you'd like to use, feel free to do so. Many things can work as a block, even just a thick pillow, a box of cereal I've seen people use, books, just something to hold on to while you're in triangle or pyramid. So I have that ready just to show you. Let's get moving. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, down into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, relax. Step back with the right foot. Hold in low lunge. Lower that back heel towards your midline. Straighten that front leg. Block behind that foot if you need it and open into triangle. Now in triangle, you want to open your hips. So this is not triangle, this is more of a pyramid. The hips would be open in triangle to where the entire body is like you're in a toaster. The object is to get those hips rotated to where they're both facing the side. Now if you can't get there because you're too bent over, just come up a little bit. Sometimes we try to force ourselves down to touching the floor, whenever we're just not there yet, all you got to do is come up a little bit and we'll pull those hips back. So holding in triangle, we're going to use our obliques to pull ourselves up and then go back down into triangle. Slow and controlled movements are what's going to sculpt our body without using weights. And this is 4. We've got 2 more. Slow and controlled down into triangle. Up, just using your abs. Down last time. And come up, just using the abs. Now we're going to rotate. Now we're going to sink down into warrior 2. Looking at that front hand. Really check your pelvis here. We want to not have our lumbar overarched. So tuck in that pelvis, nice and tall. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. And exhale, deepen into the stretch. Holding in this position, our dynamic movement is straightening up into reverse triangle and back down into warrior 2. So straighten that front knee, rotate the obliques, reaching that right hand behind the right knee, and then back down into warrior 2. Up, reverse warrior, and down into warrior 2. See if you can sink a little lower. If you need to adjust your feet at any time, do it. And let's do one more. Breathing through the moments, breathing through the movements and the moments at your own pace. Rotating into a low lunge, we're going to drop that back knee to the mat and sink into crescent. And then bring the hands down and push back up into the low lunge. Drop the knee, come up into crescent. Hands down, slow and controlled. Toe curls and lift up into the low lunge. Drop the knee, uncurl the toe, hinge up. Hinge back down, curl the toe, lift it to low lunge. Slow and easy. Lift the knee, lower it down. Using your core, which includes the glutes, to slowly move your torso up and down. And one more. Holding in the low lunge here, we're going to transition through plank. Step back into your plank, holding the core tight, fingertips wide. Step forward with the right foot, and we'll do the other side. I'm going to rotate towards you this time. I'm going to rotate this way this time to give you a better angle. So from a low lunge, we're going to drop that back heel towards the midline, straighten that front leg, and rotate open into triangle. Utilizing your leg above or below the knee. So if you need to be up higher, use your thigh, not your knee. I highly suggest getting a yoga block. You can get them pretty cheap. I think they have them at Five Below. Hinge up. Into triangle, slowly hinging up, down, slow and controlled. Feel those obliques working to move you up. You are not using momentum of your arms. No swinging up using the arms. Slow and controlled. If it helps you, place your hands on your hips instead. Even though we're on our last one, you can do that for next time so that you're not using momentum. Okay, so now bending that knee, sinking into warrior two, looking down the barrel of that arm in front of you, checking your pelvis. We don't want to be tucking in or overarching. We want to be nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen the spine up and sink down a little deeper on your exhale. Straightening that leg, hinging into reverse triangle, and then back down into warrior two. Up into reverse triangle, and down into warrior two. Slow and controlled movements once again. Adjusting your feet if you need to sink a little lower or to come up a little higher. Getting some nice ab work. At the same time using the quad. Let's do one more. And sink it down. Now rotating into high lunge, dropping that knee, bringing the hands down. Scooting back so that you can see. Lifting the knee up off the mat for low lunge. And then dropping the knee, uncurling the toe, hinging up for crescent. Slowly lower the hands down, curl the toe, lift the hips and the knee. Lower the knee, hinge out. Nice and controlled movements here. Toe curls, lift up. And the whole time our core is engaged. Hinging up. Again, not swinging anything, no momentum. Breathing through the movements. Curl the toes, lift knee, lower knee, uncurl toes, hinge up. Separating it into these little movements helps you not to move too fast. And let's do one more. Curl the toes, lift the knee, and step back into plank. Ooh. Pedal out that plank if that feels good. Holding tight, core is engaged, fingertips wide. Lift the hips for a high plank, and then scoop the chest down and up into cobra or up dog. Take a little reprieve. Lower the knees, lift the hips up through tabletop, sit back on those feet, take a little child's pose. Curl the toes, lift the hips, find your down dog. Pedal it out if you need to. And then step forward, one foot at a time. Find your forward fold. Bring those two big toes together. Lower the hips by bending the knees. Hinge up into chair. Tucking the tailbone slightly for a flat back. Shoulders rolled down the back. And then standing up into mountain. Now let's get some leg lifts going. Inhale, arms come up out to each side. We're going to take that right foot, point the toe, and stand in a 5-point star. Adding just a hip abduction at first. Toe comes up off the mat, and we're just doing a slight leg lift. Slow and controlled. Words of the day. Add a little crunch into it if you want. Totally optional. And then we're going to add a movement to this. So we're going to bring that right foot behind us and stretch the obliques to the left in Shiva. So we lift and then stretch. Not shifting our weight to the back. We're just lifting, and then the leg props us up as we arch to the left. So we crunch the oblique and then stretch it. Crunch, woo, and stretch. Crunch, stretch, crunch, and stretch. Now hold this stretch and then come up straight. Leave that right foot behind you. We're going to take it to a curtsy lunge. So we're going to drop those knees and come back up. Hips are square to the front foot. Low and high. Straight up and down movement. Adjust your feet as necessary. You don't need that foot to be super far behind you. Your thighs can be touching. We're just working a different part of the glute. So we're going to put all of these together. We're going to come up, stretch, crunch, and stretch. Lunge, stretch, crunch, and stretch. Lunge, Shiva, 5-star balance, or 5-point balance, Shiva. Lunge, Shiva, 5-point balance, Shiva. Let's do 2 more after this one. So 2, lift, last one, and lift. Now bring it up. We're going to hold down in the curtsy lunge and do little pulses. Hands to heart center. Say a little prayer, say a little meditation, whatever you need to do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take your weight to that right foot. Bring the left foot up. Lean forward, touch the floor or your mat. Get that nice stretch in the glute of that left leg. And come up. All right, time to do the other side. So we're gonna inhale, arms come up out to the side. Extend that left leg, point the toe, find your 5-point star. Lift. Just a hip abduction at first. Adding in the crunch if you want. Slow and controlled. Holding the core in tight. Now we're going to add the Shiva stretch. Bringing that foot behind us and stretching to the right. So crunch and stretch. Crunch, stretch. Calling it a crunch because we're crunching the obliques. But really it's a lift and a stretch. Lift, stretch. Again, not shifting that weight to that back foot completely. It's just kind of propping us up like a kickstand so that we can stretch to the left. Or I'm sorry, stretch to the right. Do one more and then hold it in the Shiva stretch. We lift up. We're going to sink right down into that curtsy lunge. Square the hips with that front foot. Sink it down. Adjust your feet if you need to. Good. If you really want to work out, have a Bosu ball, it's killer. Put your stable leg up on the Bosu, kick your leg back behind you. It's a great one. All right, so we're gonna put these all together. So we're gonna come up to stretch, lift the leg, Up and stretch, lunge. So stretch, kick, stretch, lunge. Stretch, kick, stretch, lunge. Remember, the kick is not really a kick, it's a lift. I don't know why I'm saying kick. Up, lifting, slow and controlled. Nice. And you should feel it burning by now. Yep. Let's do 2 more. Stretch, lift, stretch, and down. Bring it up. We're going to slow it down, bringing it down. Tiny movements here. Hands at heart center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Bring that right ankle across that right knee. Lean forward, touch the mat. Stretching out that glute. Woo! And bring it back up. Okay, so grab a drink of water, towel off if you're sweaty, like I am already. And here we go. Another dynamic movement set. Inhale, arms come up. On the exhale, we're hinging forward. Right leg is lifting back. Our body is one stiff board, and we're finding our warrior 3. Hips are both facing the floor where you're mat. Okay, we're not open to the side like in half moon. Hips and torso facing the floor. If that means you're right here, that's just where you are today. That's okay. Otherwise, you're fully leaned into it. Okay? We're gonna add dynamic movement, but we're gonna flow through this first. So warrior 3, bend that front knee as the back leg lowers and hinge up into high lunge. High lunge, that back ankle is still up off the ground. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Open up into goddess pose. So we're just rotating that back foot. Check your pelvis here. It's easy to overarch. Knees tracking over toes. So they're facing the same direction. They're right over your toes. If you need to adjust here, adjust. Arms come up into cactus. Then we're going to straighten that back leg, rotate that foot again, and lean into extended side angle. You can have your elbow on your knee like I do. You can touch the mat if you need to. Arm is reaching, bicep like touching your ear. So it's reaching forward. We're going to rotate through low lunge, stepping up into chair. And that's the flow. Let's do it on the other side, and then we'll add the dynamic movement. So inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinging into warrior 3. Left leg comes up this time. Hips facing the floor. Holding the core in tight. Bend that front knee as the lower leg lowers, as the back leg lowers. Whoop. And then open, or stand up, hinge up into high lunge. Open up into goddess. Adjusting your feet as needed. Checking in with your pelvis, cactus arms. Make sure your knees and toes are facing the same direction. And then hinge into extended side angle. Again, just pivoting on the toe balls of that back foot. And then rounding through low lunge, stepping up into chair. You can have your hands at heart center, hands on your hips, hands in the air, whatever feels good. And that's our flow. Now adding dynamic movement. In warrior 3, I'm just going to show you real quick. In warrior 3, we're bringing in, we're doing a knee crunch. So extend the leg, bring it in. Extend the leg, bring it in. If you have something that you want to hold on to, it can be a block, or it chair or a bed or whatever you have around you. Hold on to it, that's fine. So we're doing knee crunches, and then we're gonna lower into that high lunge, hinching up, leaning forward into that high lunge. See if you can get your torso onto that thigh. That's gonna give you some real strength when you come back up. If not, just go as low as you can. Bring your arms behind you to add to that weight. If you need a reprieve from that, just place your hands on your thigh, not your weight, just your hands or on your hips. So leaning forward, that's our dynamic movement in the high lunge. Back heel still up off the ground. Opening into goddess, dynamic movement becomes straighten the legs and arms and sink them back down. So just a goddess squat, okay? Through to extended side angle, up into warrior two, down and up. We did this earlier, so we're just adding some more of that core work. And we come up into chair, same thing, just squatting in the chair squat. All right, are you guys ready? All right, inhale, arms come up. Hinge forward, right foot off the mat. Bring it in 3 times. 1, extend. 2, extend. 3, extend. Slow and controlled. Lower down the feet. Hinge up into high lunge. Slow and controlled. Exhale down and lean back up. Down and back up. Down and back up. Now opening into goddess. Rotating the feet, checking your pelvis. Cactus arms. Lift and sink. Knees and toes tracking to protect those knees. And sink. Now, hinging into extended side angle, lifting up into warrior two. Hinge down, slow and controlled, lift up, nice and easy. Last time, hinging down and coming up. Now, we're going to rotate, stepping up into chair. Lift up, squat down. Up and squat. Up and squat. And up into mountain. Good. So now for the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left leg lifts. 3 times, slow and controlled. Bring it in and extend. In and extend. In and extend. Lower those legs, hinge up, high lunge, whoop, falling over. Exhaling, leaning forward, and bringing it back up. Leaning forward, bringing it back up. Leaning forward, bringing it back up. Opening up into goddess. Holding, checking your pelvis. Don't want that booty sticking out. You also don't want it tucked under too much. Straight back, lift up, sink down, lift and sink, lift, sink, and rotating to extended side angle. Hinge up into warrior two, down into the side angle, up and down, up and down. Rotating into that chair, lift and sink, lift, sink, lift, sink. Last time, lift, last sink, and up into mountain. Now shake those legs out. We're gonna do that one more time. This time, we're gonna go 4. So, let's start it with the right. Inhale, arms come out. Exhale, hinging into warrior three. And bring it in. 1, extend. 2, extend. 3, extend. 4, extend. Lower down, hinge up, high lunge, leaning forward. 1, and up. 2, and up. 3, notice how I slowed down for this, and up. 4, and up, to allow you time to get down for 5, and back up. And 6, why am I going to 6? All right, opening up into goddess. Adjust those feet, lift up, 1, and sink. 2, and sink. 3, and sink. 4, and sink. Hinging into extended side angle. Lift for 1, and back down. Lift 2, and hinge. Lift 3, feeling it in that quad, and hinge. Lift 4, and hinge. Rotate, step up into chair, find your form. Lift, sink. 2, and sink. 3, sink down, and 4, sink down. Good. Come up into mountain. Shake it out. Ready for the other side. Now remember, we got to do 6 in high lunge because I don't know why I did that. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, left leg back. Find your warrior 3. Bring it in for 1. Extend. 2, extend. 3, extend. 4, extend. Lower the legs, hinge up, high lunge, lean forward, and up. 2, and up. 3, and up. If you need to have your hands on your hips, that's fine. There's 4, and 5, because I don't know why. And opening it up into goddess. Hinge up or straighten up, sink down. 2, and sink. 3, watch those knees. And 4, sink it down. How low can you go? Hinge open, straighten that back leg. Bring it up, warrior 2, and down. Second, warrior 2, and down. There's 3, and hinge. 4, and hinge. Good. Stepping up into chair, straighten, and sink. 2, and sink. 3, sink. 4, sink. Good. Up into mountain. Shake out those legs. You should be feeling it right now. I am. We're going to do some bear crawls. So stand at the back of your mat. This is a full body exercise. We'll do 3 bear crawls, but we'll stop in between and we'll do a slow mountain climber. So you're going to roll down and walk out into a plank. Hold the plank, step your feet wide of your mat, crawl up the length of your mat, crawl back down the length of your mat, bring your feet together, hold a plank. We're going to bring our right knee in to the center of our arms and back, left knee in and back, right knee back, left knee back. Right knee back, left knee back. So 3 on each side. Walk yourself back up into forward fold. Round up and take a nice deep squat as a breather and to stretch those legs. We'll do that 2 more times. So roll down, walk it out, find your plank, step wide of your mat, crawl up. The lower you are to your mat, the more you're gonna feel it in the rest of your body. Find your plank, slow mountain climbers. So right knee, left knee, right and left, right and left. Holding your core in tight, obviously. Walk yourself back, forward fold, roll it up, squat it down, and last one. Roll it down, walk it out. Step wide of your mat, holding your plank, crawl all the way up and all the way back. Find your plank, hold it nice and tight. Right knee, left, right. Keep that booty down. Last one, right and left. Walk it back up, roll to the top, and squat it out. Now hold this low squat. Drop those knees. Take a little reprieve in Thunderbolt. We're gonna do some stretching and some core mixed in. Now inhale, arms come up. Lift, stay here. Extend that right leg out to the side and lean towards it for gate. Right hand comes down, avoiding the knee. Reaching, stretching that whole left side. Should feel pretty good. And coming up, we're going to go over to the other side for half circle. Lowering that left hand down to the mat. Feeling this in your hip flexor, as well as the side body. And bring it back up. Now lift those arms, lower the glutes, lower the arms. Inhale, arms up. Leading with the pelvis, using the glutes. Now extend that left foot out, leaning towards the left for gate. Feeling that nice stretch in the obliques. Feeling a little in my hip flexor here too. Staying away from that knee. My little legs, I don't know if you can tell in these big old sweatpants where my knees are, but I'm avoiding the knees. And inhale up and switch to the other side for half circle. Check your torso. We don't want to be concave. We don't want to be overarched. Just in a nice line with our legs. Arm as well, right over our ear. And using the momentum of the arm coming back up. Good. Now, we're going to sit and do some stretching. So find yourself in a seated position. Bring the legs out in front of you. Find your staff. Now push the legs actively into your mat or into the floor. Flex those feet, calves and thighs, actively pressing into the mat while you have a straight back, and inhale, reaching actively for the ceiling. It's a very difficult movement when you're actively reaching up with your upper body and pressing down with your lower body. It takes a little bit of concentration. When ready, exhale those hands behind you, fingertips towards your booty, lean back on them. Shoulders are still rolled down the back. We're going to lift our glutes and find an upward plank. Neck and head are in line with the torso. And then release. Sitting up straight, find a figure four, bringing that right foot into the left thigh. We're going to rotate towards that extended foot with a flat back. Inhale, and on your exhale, lean forward, holding that back flat, just as far forward as you can go, just for a moment. And then on your next exhale, round the back, releasing. Allow your head to drop towards your knee. Returning to the belly breath here, you might notice that when you inhale, your body moves up a little. And then on your exhale, you sink back down. Most likely, we're going to hold it long enough that each time you sink down, you'll sink a little lower. Don't force it here though. Just allow gravity to work with your body. The natural forces of the world can do amazing things if we allow them. Whenever you're ready, rolling up through the back very slowly and gently. Anytime we're holding stretches for long periods of time, we want to ease out of them as slowly as possible. So we're just going to take that left leg, bend it, bringing that ankle towards our left thigh, and find ourselves in deer pose. Twisting around, place your left hand on your right knee, use it for leverage, and continue that twist, including the hips, towards the right hand. That right hand coming back behind you. Look over that right shoulder if you can. And then release. We're going to lean over to that right side. Elbow comes onto the mat. Reach up with your left. And then we're going to walk all the way over to the left leg. As far over as feels good. Legs back out into staff. Straighten the back. Actively push the legs down into the mat or into the floor. Feet are flexed. Reach up on your inhale. Actively reach for the ceiling or the sky or the stars. Shoulders are still rolled down your back. Core is in tight. And exhale, bring those hands behind you, fingertips towards your booty, leaning back, lifting the hips for upward dog, or upward plank. And lower back down. Now we're going to bring that left leg in for the figure four, foot towards the right thigh. Rotate the torso towards that extended leg, hips included. Straighten the back, inhale, and lean forward with that straight back just for a moment, and then exhale. Allow your back to round, just sink into that leg. Allow your forehead to drop. Inverted poses help us to reflect on our inner selves. So as we fold over, we literally fold into ourselves. Take this moment to allow yourself to feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And when you are ready, slowly rolling up. Bring that ankle round behind you. Rotate towards that left side. Right hand on the left knee. Twisting around. Look over that left shoulder. Bring it back to the center. Reach over, lowering that elbow to the ground, reaching the right arm over, and then walking over to the right leg. And bringing it up. Let's come into a boat pose. So sit, find your sits bone, and lean back onto it. You might have to move some of your flesh out of the way. That's okay. Lean back with a straight back. So see here, my back is as straight as it goes, like this. I have a little wonky of a back, but so straight back, leaning onto your sits bone. Bring those feet up off the mat if you can. Reach for your toes on the sides of your legs. If you can, straighten those legs. If not, you can have them bent. We're using the core already. So just breathe through this. Find your own breathing pattern, holding that core tight. If you start to feel your back round, come up a little bit. Maybe lower your feet to the mat if you need to. Just touch your toes barely off the floor and then touch them when you need to. But hold that chest up high with a flat back. If you need to, also you can touch your hands down to the mat if you're having problems balancing. The important thing is to breathe and keep that flat back. Your core is working hard. Now release, lay all the way down, reach up, stretch, actively reaching your hands above your head and actively reaching your toes in the opposite direction. Bring that right knee into your chest. Roll your ankle a few times in each direction. Hug it in tight. And then extend your right arm out to your side, palm facing down. Look over at that hand and allow your right knee to fall towards the left side of your mat. Again, not really forcing, just allowing. Using your left hand to just kind of hold that knee in place. We have a tendency to want to straighten out, but keeping that right shoulder down on the mat. Rolling back onto your back, hug that knee in just briefly, and then extend that right leg out straight, bringing the left knee in, hug it into your chest, roll that ankle in each direction a few times, and then extend that left hand out to your side, palm facing down, look over at it as you allow that left knee to come over to the right side of your mat. Keeping that left shoulder flat on the mat. That might mean your leg is a little higher, that's okay. And then And twisting back around, pull that knee in just briefly. Extend that leg out straight and allow yourself to come into a relaxed position where you're not using any muscles. So you can be laying in corpse, you could be on your side, you could be in crocodile. If you need your knees bent on your back for your lower back purpose, or for lower back purposes, have your feet a little wider than hip width apart and allow your knees to fall into each other to support each other. So you're still really not using any muscle. And just put your hands out to the side or maybe on your belly. And just start to relax. We're going to take a little Savasana. I want you to close your eyes and just bring your breathing back to a normal pace. Bring your awareness to your body. Our bodies are so amazing. They do so many things without us even having to think about them. So the breathing, your body does all on its own. Your body controls your temperature when you get overheated. Your body automatically engages muscles to keep you upright and keep you balanced. Allow yourself to appreciate your body just as it is right now. It's an amazing thing. Just feel that gratitude towards the natural processes, towards yourself. Feel the gratitude for your body pushing you hard in this workout. In addition to what it does for you every day. Allowing yourself to relax after an asana session is an amazing feat. It's very difficult for some people to go from that flex to a completely relaxed state. So as you breathe, imagine your muscles relaxing. Actively imagine this in your mind, starting with your head. Not just your muscles, but your fascia and your joints. Start with your forehead. Just relax your forehead. Envision all the wrinkles relaxing from your face. All the crinkles, the cheeks from smiling, your lips. Just completely relaxed. You can see it, you can feel it. Continue that down your neck. Your neck muscles are completely relaxed. No knots, no tension. And that melts down your shoulders. Your shoulders just melt like butter into the mat or into the ground. All the way down your back and your chest, all the way down your core, your lower back, your abdomen, across your shoulders, down your biceps, every muscle, every fiber just relaxes. Elbows completely lubricated and floating in their natural fluid. melting feeling continues across your hips, down your glutes and your quads and your hamstrings. With each exhale, your fascia releases all knots, and your muscles are strong but relaxed. Your knees, like your elbows, float in their natural fluid, completely lubricated and inert. Your shins and calves melt into the mat. Your ankles are perfectly still. The soles of your feet hold no tension. The tops of your feet are like butter, and your toes completely melt. You are so relaxed. Just be. You stay in Savasana for as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me today. Please reach out if you have any comments, concerns, or suggestions. And we'll see you next time. Namaste.